the financial heart of Switzerland, Zurich is one of the richest cities in the world. It's also the home of FIFA.
There are those who will tell you that FIFA is just a conspiracy, a scam. There are those who will tell you of the supposed sordid secrets that lie deep in our Bond villain headquarters in the hills above Zurich.
Most sports executives don't relish being compared to villains from Bond films. But this is Sepp Blatter.
They would have you believe that I sit in my office with a sinister grin, gently stroking the chin of an expensive white Persian cat. But it is not what we are. That's not FIFA. That's not me.
Monsieur Lennart Johansson.
That perception first came into focus in 1998, when Blatter was elected president amid allegations that his victory had been purchased.
I am not going to give any platform to those that doubt about the results and the correctness of my election in 1998.
If you ask Mr. Blatter, did he buy votes, he would say no. And he has the right to say no, because he never took money in his hand and handed money over to other people. It is not today necessary that you go and buy your votes yourself.
Guido Tagnoni was a FIFA executive for 2 decades. For a time, he was Blatter's closest advisor.
Who was buying votes for him?
I know the actors, I know the people. I do not want to expose them because they're still in the business, and I think it would be wrong 17 years after the event start to put the fingers on certain people.
If the election had been clean, who would have won?
I'm sure that without, let's say, helping hands from outside, it would have been extremely, extremely close. Maybe it would have been different.
Those helping hands are believed to have belonged to Mohammed bin Hammam, a Qatari billionaire, and a FIFA Executive Committee member. He's denied buying any votes, but was undeniably a staunch Blatter supporter.
During the campaign in '98, Blatter was flying around on bin Hammam's private plane?
It was not bin Hammam's private plane.
It was the Emir's?
It was maybe even not the Emir's private plane, but bin Hammam arranged all facilities for Sepp Blatter. I do not know who was the owner, but when Sepp Blatter needed a plane and bin Hammam was around, then he organized the plane.
The plane allowed Blatter to campaign all over, especially in the developing world. Once he became president, Blatter launched the Goal program, which provides funding for soccer facilities in poorer, smaller member states.
He liked digging over a piece of turf to open a new pitch, being feted wherever he goes. It's a bit like, you know, a rain god arriving or something.
He's campaigning for FIFA and it is campaigning for himself. He always comes with gifts. He comes with the money for the FIFA Goal project. He can give nice little jobs in the committees. So the FIFA president is 4 years like Santa Claus.
It's smart politics. Each of these countries has a vote. In fact, all of FIFA's 209 member countries and territories are equal in the presidential election process. And all share equally the profits from the World Cup, regardless of size or soccer prowess.
Liechtenstein gets as much money as Germany. Andorra gets as much money as Spain. San Marino gets as much money as Italy. And Montserrat gets as much money as United States. This is a system of FIFA, and this is one of the keys that the incumbent president stays in power forever if he wants.
At no time was this more evident than in 2002, when Blatter first ran for re-election.
I have put on the table what I call misleading accounting practices.
A week before the vote, FIFA General Secretary Michel Zen-Ruffinen, Blatter's right-hand man, turned on his boss, even as they sat side by side.
I have also indicated some conflicts of interest. There could be corruption within the organization.
In this confidential document, Zen-Ruffinen accused Blatter of running FIFA like a dictatorship.
On essaye par comment dirais-je, une action concertée avec l'aide de certains médias, des tabloïds britanniques, de démolir l'image du président.
At the same time, 11 FIFA Executive Committee members filed a criminal complaint against Blatter, accusing him of corruption.
The candidate elected as FIFA president for the next term of office is Mr. Joseph S. Blatter. Thank you for your attention.
Despite the insurrection, Blatter was re-elected in a landslide.
I register your deep trust in FIFA and in me.
Of course I am disappointed because I thought that the world of football and the associations would understand better the situation. I think they did, but actually they did not want to understand or to really see what happens within the organization because they are happy with what is provided to them.
Concerning the General Secretary, he is in trouble, he said to one of your colleagues. And he is in trouble.
Weeks later, Zen Rufanen was ousted. The criminal complaint against Blatter was withdrawn.
How does Blatter continue to survive with all of the controversies?
What happens in FIFA, the corruption, the nepotism, the waste of money and all this, not many countries care about. These little islands which are not bigger than a football field, do you believe that they care what is happening in FIFA, if there is a scandal or not? As long as they get their money, they are happy.
FIFA handed out more than $261 million in World Cup bonuses to its member states after the most recent tournament in Brazil. Not bad for an officially registered non-profit organization.
It is not correct for a billion-dollar company of the entertainment business to have the same status as a yodeling association.
Roland Buchel used to work in marketing at FIFA. Now a member of the Swiss parliament, he's leading the campaign from inside Switzerland to make FIFA more transparent.
FIFA doesn't have to tell anyone how much it pays its executives, correct?
That's correct.
It doesn't have to tell anyone how much it pays any employee.
That's correct.
It doesn't have to reveal the minutes of its meetings.
That's correct.
It doesn't really have to account for itself to any overarching authority.
It's really a problem, but it's a problem of the laws, but it's even a bigger problem of the organization.
In 2010, ISL, a Swiss marketing firm, was found to have paid millions of dollars in bribes to top officials at FIFA.
What did FIFA do when the names of the executives within the organization who had taken these bribes might have been disclosed?
They paid millions and did everything to have to keep these names under the carpet and not to have them revealed.
Is there any reason to believe that Sepp Blatter personally accepted bribes?
I consider Sepp Blatter a very intelligent person, a person who knows what he has to do to remain in power. And I don't think that he's been as stupid as to have taken bribes himself.
In the end, Blatter himself wasn't implicated, but it was determined that he knew that ISL had paid João Havelange $1.6 million.
I see let's say, no clouds in the heaven of FIFA now, tomorrow, or the day after.
Blatter came out and said something, we've been cleared, we're fine, walk away.
Mr. Blatter has one problem. His consultants are not always the most able ones. Blatter seeks loyalty and not quality. And when he says what they suggest to him, so maybe he says stupid things like that.
And we shall wonder if one day our game is played on the other planets. Why not? And then we don't have only a World Cup, we will have interplanetary competitions.
When he's around world leaders, does he consider himself on a par with them, on the same level?
I think yes. I think yes. And you know why? Because they all treat him like this. Maybe when he's out of the room, they laugh about him, but when he's there, they treat him like this.
A few years ago, he wanted to get the Nobel Prize for Peace. And I mean, you won't get the Nobel Prize for Peace with all the allegations of corruption and the real corruption in an association. It was his target.
I mean, it sounds kind of funny, Sepp Blatter and the Nobel Peace Prize.
It doesn't only sound funny, it would be funny, but it was definitely the aim of Mr. Blatter at a certain period of time.
We wanted to ask Blatter about all of these things, but E60's repeated requests for an interview were denied. However, while gathering scenic shots of the Bahnhofstrasse, the most fashionable street in Zurich, a city of some 2 million people, there he was. Filmed in slow motion, this glimpse of Blatter and his girlfriend seems to go on forever. But in reality, it lasted just a few seconds, until a tram crossed between us, and Blatter stepped into a waiting car. And just like that, he was gone.